Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. The reason why we are, I'm excited to do this is because last week, last Thursday or something like that, we were lucky enough here to get on a call with Carl, just the sales team and him. And he, if you know Carl, this man is passionate when it comes to Beachbody. And he was no different on this call. And he laid it out for us. He's like, look, this is where we are at as a company. This is where our goals are at. And this is what I want you guys to be doing. I want you guys to be talking about. And it was very inspirational, very motivating. This was not a panic by any means a call, but this was a, hey, so what he wants us to do is get the feeling of how everybody is doing with their business in regards to their own personal business, with their team business, and if things aren't looking peachy, then let's talk about what we can do to get it back to that sweet spot. And so the what I kind of want to go over today are a couple things. And I got my little sticky note here, that's what I keep referring to. So he said, as a company, we're actually doing phenomenal. He said we are double-digit percentages better than we were last year at this time, and but we are starting to see that where we were a straight rocket, we were just screaming to the skies. It's actually starting to tail off a little bit, and this is a very normal thing for any business. And he said there's three areas where he feels that we can improve on. And this is kind of where I want to get your guys' thoughts on. And these are with Home Direct, both starts and retention, people who hit SC1, and then people who hit SC5. Those are the three areas that he wants us to be focusing on and wants you guys to be focusing on because he feels like those numbers are lagging a little bit. And so, this is where it's time to be honest with ourselves. And so, just to start this call off, I want to ask you guys. Let's start with Home Direct. What do you guys' thoughts are with Home Direct on people the reasons why people get on, how long they stay on for, maybe with your team, and the reasons why they get off. I've talked about this with a few people, so I have some thoughts, but I would love to get your guys' opinion on if I'm a brand new customer, what do you guys say to me to get me on Home Direct, and how do you keep me on? So I'll let anybody go ahead and unmute yourself, and let's get this conversation started. Yeah, Michelle.
The biggest thing, obviously, is the savings and shipping. I mean, I tell people to get on it because, it's going to save you in shipping. And I always tell my customers, I get hesitations with Home Direct because some people are like, I don't want them to have my credit card number, and I don't want to keep getting automatically billed. I mean, I do get that a good bit. But I explain to them that, I will be in constant contact with them, supporting them with this, and we can make modifications as needed. We can change flavors, we can change shipment dates, we can cancel whatever you need, we can do. So that's what I usually tell them. And then typically I have, a good bit that once they try it, they do stay on it. But then I have a good bit that, they get it with a challenge pack, they try it for that month. And then, of course, cost comes into play, which I'm sure a lot of you get as well. And they end up going off. But one of the things that I know that I've been trying to do is every single month I'm running a 5-day Shakeology group, and I'm trying to give people the opportunity to try samples. Either I send them directly or have them order a super sampler, and try to really educate them about Shakeology in order to keep them on longer. And I've noticed a lot of people that are in that 5-day Shakeology group and are properly educated about Shakeology and how it is very different from other shakes, then they do stay on it longer.
All right, amen to that. Anybody else? What do you guys, to get somebody onto Home Direct and Shakeology, what do you guys talk about? Is it mostly the shipping savings? Anybody else? Yeah, Annalisa.
basically everyone that's on HD with me is because I'm only promoting challenge packs. So they don't really have the option outside of HD at that point. But to get them to continue it in the initial conversation, I'm typically saying Shakeology is going to be on auto ship. This is something that I recommend you sticking to. Give it at least 3 months. And you'll start to feel the effects of things, and you'll start to kind of get in a routine with it. But I do find that a lot of the HD cancellations come from them kind of swimming in Shakeology because they're not drinking it every day, for example. Maybe they're drinking it during the week, or maybe they fall off here and there and they're having it every so often, but they end up swimming in it, and then they're like, I have 3 boxes of Shakeology in my fridge and I just have to cancel, because they panic. Instead of, I try to nip it in the bud and say, like, we can put this on hold at any time. So if you start to get kind of a backup of it, let's put it on hold. You can put it on hold for up to 3 months. But again, that kind of puts that HD order on hold. So it is just the lack of consistency with it. And I think what Michelle was saying, having a Shakeology education kind of maybe like a group template where we know what we're posting in a Shakeology group and we're educating people more. I think that's part of where I personally lack in keeping people on with Shakeology, is the education.
Hey, and I love that. Thanks for being honest with us on that. Hey, the first step is recognition. It's always recognizing where areas we can improve on. I love that. Does anybody else have a different opinion or a different way of how they get people on HD than what's been discussed? Okay, so let's talk about then the reasons why they get off. Annalisa mentioned that usually it's because they have too much. Does anybody else have other reasons why they get off?
I mentioned price objection, like still not understanding the value of it and thinking that it's too much.
Okay. So we have too much, the cost is too high. Anybody else? Yeah.
I've had people I don't know what's going on here these past few months, but so many people with health problems. I've had a few with allergies. I've had some that have gotten into like accidents and things happening. But what I stress with them is that this is not just about weight loss. Stay on the Shakeology because there's so many other benefits to it. I mean, the ones clearly that have allergies, I've had like at least 3, and it's Shakeology allergies. So I couldn't really do anything about that, but I really emphasize the fact that it's a lot more than just for weight loss. And I talk about the benefits in terms of what I've seen with my health and skin and hair. But I mean, that's pretty much it. And I do pretty much the same. Like I'm quick to send samples out of different flavors. And if someone is not responding well to the cleanse, I immediately tell them to get off of it because I don't want them to have a bad experience with the shake. But yeah, I mean, it's the same reasons in terms of money. I also let them know ahead of time to just like that their shake is going to come out within the 30 days and to start saving for it. Like say, just make sure that you're putting some money aside. This is going to come out in, 30 days from the day that you ordered. So I do my best with everything. Everybody's sharing as well.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Nicole, you've been around for a while. My question to you is, on average, when people go off HD or they stop taking Shakeology, do you know what's the average time frame, month-wise? How long, when they drop off? They usually drop off after this amount of time.
Just making sure. Okay. Average would be hard because I have a range. People that don't stick with it really long term, I tend to find 3 months. Like I definitely have people for 3 months and then they kind of fall off. And then I've had people that even come back, so it's not like they're gone forever. But then I still have people that have been drinking it for years with me too. So I think it comes down to when people commit to it and they drink it every day, they become believers in it, But I would say the average in terms of people that do fall off would be I have them for at least 3 months.
Spot on. And I wasn't trying to get you to say a certain month, but I've heard that number over and over again. So let's solve this problem, guys. What are some things that you do or you think you've seen people do to extend that? Because if we can extend it even just by 1 month, imagine the financial possibilities on top of that you guys can earn just for having them stay on 1 month longer. Granted, it's not about the financial reasons, but Beth, you're kind of jumping in. Let's hear what you have to say.
I have a coach on my team who she does things a little bit differently. She is actually a marathon runner. So she doesn't promote really the 21-day fix or anything. She really only promotes Shakeology. And she does a great big group. And she actually, everybody in the group puts money into a pot. So, and she does the groups for like 90 days. And the only way you can win the money is if you are active Shakeology drinker. So she runs these groups for 90 days and the pot gets up to like $350 or something. But if you're not actively drinking the Shakeology, you can't win. And she makes the groups purposely 90 days long so that she has to hold them on Shakeology for 90 days. And it really works for her, but I can tell you, she as soon as that group's over, if she doesn't immediately have another one going, we see everyone dropping off, because once they know there's nothing keeping them going anymore, then they stop. So
fascinating. Anybody else thoughts on? Oh, Ellen, please. You're on mute. Hold on, I gotta unmute you. Okay.
Sorry. What does she promote for the 90 days that would, like, what is the pot for? Just that they're sticking with the drinking of the Shakeology? Like, are they posting about running? And
she runs contests every day, and she'll do, like, they have to put so much money in, and then every day she makes them, like, either post a workout selfie or post a recipe or post a picture of their shake. They have to do things to earn points. Oh. And then she also will, like, have weigh-ins periodically, and if she does a pop-up weigh-in and you don't want to weigh in, because if you gain weight, you have to put more money in. Like, but these are her clients and they know everything that they're getting into when they get into this group. But if they decide they don't want to weigh in, they have to pay $5. And if they gain weight, they have to pay $5. So, like, the pot keeps building, and her people love it. But she has this whole script. I can get it from her and share it with what she makes them do.
It sounds fun.
That's great. There's a lot of things. There's an accountability factor in there that they have to answer to, and there's the financial thing. Everything's tied back to money. Sorry, Alan, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, it was similar to one of the national wake-up calls a couple of weeks ago with the emotional tie. And if, like, the people that drop off with Shakeology, I feel, are the ones that also are not really sticking to the programs. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So some people do just the Shakeology if we're never really going to work out to begin with, but I feel keep touching base with them and making them feel part of something that the ones that I find that stop drinking it are the ones that aren't part of the group or engaged and then, like you had said earlier, I forgot your name, that educated on the Shakeology enough. So even just another Shakeology challenge group would maybe keep them longer because they'll be educated more. So even if they're not doing a program, they're just going to stick with it. It's just going to be like taking a daily vitamin. It's a no-brainer. They're going to be a lifer,
Yep. And that's our goal, is to get them to do this on a regular basis where they don't think about it. This isn't my own analogy, but one of the analogies I've heard is they need to take this on a regular basis so that when they're out, it's like they go out and they get more. One of the reasons the analogy was like, look, like a bottle of ketchup in your fridge. Everybody has a bottle of ketchup in their fridge. And when they run out, they don't have this family council as to whether or not they should continue buying ketchup. It's just they go out to the store and they buy ketchup because this is something that they love, they use, and they go out and they just go get it. We need to get them in that routine of when it's time, when you're out of Shakeology, you just need to go, hopefully your home director is coming in, but you need to go get another bag of Shakeology. You don't need to hold this family council of should we, shouldn't we, I don't know. No, it's so much part of your routine now that it has changed your life that you just need to go do it. And you just need to purchase the Shakeology. And, it's funny because, and this is, I'm going to bring it back and I'll let you guys in here just a second, but guys, I did this with a different mastermind group, and what was very apparent to me, and you guys are definitely doing this a little bit better than them, but what appeared to me was when trying to get somebody to sell them on Shakeology or on Home Direct or whatever, granted they come in with the challenge groups, but we got to keep them going. All they talked about was this cost savings on shippings, what fees that are waived, the $20, $30 cheaper per month, but it's still $119, $120 bag of stuff that they don't know what it is. And they were so determined on selling them with a cost savings that the health benefits, not once did they say, I talked to them about the health benefits of Shakeology. And if I'm paying $100 and however many dollars for a bag of stuff that I don't know what it is, I can guarantee you I'm out after so long because I don't know what it does. And so I think one of the best things we can do is sell them on the health benefits of Shakeology. That, look, you can expect when you take Shakeology every day, you can expect these things. And we don't want to be caused. We don't want to say it cures cancer. We don't want to do any of that crazy stuff or any of those crazy claims. But there are claims that we can say, and there are things that we can do to educate them and say, look, this isn't just a bag of protein. This isn't just muscle building. This is the most amazing product out there, and here are the reasons why, and here are the reasons why you want to stay on it. And so I really like that idea of getting together in a group and saying, look, like almost check in, like, have you noticed these things? And after so long, you should be noticing these things, and then check in with them and making sure that they stay on it. Because if they don't know, just like Annalisa said, they're just gonna, I'm not gonna take it today because I forgot. It's just not part of my routine. And going back to what Michelle said at the beginning of our call when we were just chatting, this is something new. They're used to drinking whatever every single day. They're not used to drinking Shakeology every day. They're not used to pressing play every single day. It's something new. And we all know habits take a while to form. Some say 21 days, some say 66 days it takes to build a habit. It takes a while. So we can't get after them and say, why aren't you taking it? We just need to help remind them to take it in fun and exciting, challenging games way, because as much as we spend time on recruiting people, we got to focus on retention as well. I mean, for crying out loud, you guys put in so much effort to get this new coach or this new challenger to join your group. Have them stick around for a while. I mean, let's have them start counting. Let's have them, and your business thrives off of HD. Our everybody's paychecks thrives off of the HD. So we got to make sure that they have a program, and yes, they get on demand or whatever, but the thing that's going to be recurring every single month is Shakeology. And I don't know how well we promote Shakeology. I feel like we promote the exercises, the programs more than Shakeology, and they don't buy programs every single month. Granted, on demand is different, but they don't buy those programs every single month. They buy Shakeology every single month. And so we need to make sure that when we're talking to them, there's financial savings, but those are dollars. That's dollars. We're spending over $100. We need to make this the value in their mind $100 plus product. Samantha, what do you got to say about this?
Just as you were talking, I was thinking I definitely promote the workouts more because I feel like it's more fun for me. Like I can show them my workouts. I can give them a tip on squatting. I can, there's so many different ways that I can promote a workout. And I feel like when I post about Shakeology, I feel like it comes across as I'm trying to sell it or I'm trying to just inform people on it and it doesn't get a lot of engagement. So I definitely think I need to share more about it. I just need, I guess, ideas or just strategies on how to make it seem like, make people know how good it is, not just me saying this is my breakfast type thing.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah, both Denise and Annalisa.
I know one of the things that stuck with me, and I think it was Shay Stanford, like she's like such a Shakeology guru, but the thing that stuck was that people can go out and get fitness anywhere, so we should really be leading with Shakeology because it's that component that makes Beachbody so different, whereas they can go to CrossFit, they can go do their exercise programs, but leading with Shakeology is kind of that magic component that nobody else has, and so I always kind of keep that in the back of my mind when people are talking about how they just want the fitness program, they're not into Shakeology, and kind of just obviously talking about my experience with Shako, but really keeping that in the back of my head that like our challenge pack is Shakeology plus fitness more so than the fitness plus Shakeology. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, and I think it definitely was Shay Stanford from like Summit a couple years ago. She mentioned when you're talking about challenge packs with people, don't talk about getting Shakeology for the discount. talk about getting the fitness program at a lower price rather than devaluing Shakeology instead when you're selling a challenge pack.
Yeah, that's helpful. Right now, when I talk about challenge packs, I don't talk about Shakeology at all, and I know this is bad. I just throw it in at the end, like when I talk about what's included. I say Shakeology is in there, which helps increase energy, improve digestion, and curb cravings. Amen. And that's all I say about it. People are like, sweet, sign me up. But yeah, I don't have a good retention with it. So I think leading with that, you're right. Like Shakeology is what makes us unique.
A lot of times what I do is like, I totally get what you're saying, Samantha. Like, so what I do is when I take my pictures, I just kind of like subliminally have Shakeology like in my hand, kind of with the name showing. And what I'll do is I'll talk more about like, oh, I'm out, out and about with the kids. I'm glad that I can have this healthy breakfast. Like, I don't even use the word Shakeology on my post. Like, I just kind of have it there. And I totally drive it with the health benefits. And I do the opposite. I mean, I talk more about Shakeology when I'm presenting this whole opportunity to someone as opposed to the fitness. And the way that I phrase it, that it's fuel. It's just like you're fueling a car, and it's high end. I always use that term. Shakeology is high end. And if you compare it, because that's what people do. The reality is that people will compare it to other shakes. So I'm like, hey, go ahead and do your research. Shakeology is high end, and this is what it's done for me. And that's how I promote it. And most people are like, okay, sign me up. And I talk about my age because I'll be 44, and I'm like, hey, I feel good, and it's because of the shake.
I love that. Guys, I think that's one of the best things we can do is not only be promoting the health benefits, but guys, have your own story about Shakeology. People are so tied to story. The reason why they're interested in you is because they saw your story, your journey about your fitness. Fitness is so visible. They can see that, and that attracts them in. But you also need to have your story with Shakeology. You need to have Shakeology, for me, has done these amazing things for me, and people will latch on to that story. They will they'll buy into you more than they'll buy into the ingredients. And that's it. I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't 100% trained on Shakeology when I'm only three and a half months into this business now. I'm not properly trained on Shakeology, and it drives me up the wall because in my previous business, I was it was called product inquiries. If you had a question about any product that we sold, I was the guy you came to. The email address was product inquiries at da-da-da-da-da. That was me. Like, I knew everything about the products. And now I come here and I am just drowning. I'm like, please, somebody tell me a little bit. So I've been researching more and more. There's a Shakeology website I found out that's dedicated to that. It's fascinating information. And the more you know, the better you can talk about it and sell it to anybody else. So, any other thoughts before we move on the benefits of Shakeology? No? Okay. Well, you guys mentioned something that I also want to bring up because this was brought up, and it's something I actually hadn't thought about. But when we talk about the discounts of the financial discounts of being on Shakeology, this brought up the conversation with the sales team of when we sign up a challenger versus a coach. And or a discount coach. It's so funny how we do this as human beings. It's the least path of resistance, or it's the lowest price possible. When we bring somebody in as a discount coach, the reasons we do that is because we know that there are discounts, even though they may not be ready to be a coach, that we somehow bring them in because we know that there's a cheaper option. They didn't know that there was a cheaper option, but we know that there's a cheaper option. And we actually do ourselves a disservice by trying to say, hey, you can come in and I can bring you in at this super really low cost versus when a challenger comes in. If a challenger comes in and they come in at full price, that's retail savings. That's retail profit in your pocket. And you guys, each time you bring in a discount coach, that's money out of your pocket. When they would have signed up anyways, they would have gone through the challenge. But we feel like because we know that there is a cheaper way, we try to bring them in that cheapest way possible. And when we start treating them as a coach rather than a challenger, Whereas we need to make sure we treat everybody as a challenger than a coach, and let them go through this journey, let them go through this transformation. And then when they're ready to become a coach, then we sign them up as a coach. We bring them on as a coach. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on signing people up as a challenger versus a discount coach, and the reasons why you do that?
Well, I like to bring in coaches because I am striving to hit elite. So, I mean, I'll be honest. And coaches are the ones that are bringing in that PSPV, that'll lead to those points. I also noticed that for the most part, my coaches, even if they come on for the discount, they tend to stay on Shakeology longer. They just seem to be more committed. Those challengers that I sign up, a lot of times those are the ones that are just on for 1 or 2 months and they're done. So I definitely have been one that I try to bring everybody in as a coach.
So why is that then? Why do you feel like they stay on longer?
That's a good question. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe they have a different mindset coming into it. I think a lot of times those that turn me down for the coach piece of it, it's because they just kind of want a quick fix. They just want some, results just because they're going on vacation and they don't want to stay on it long term. I think that those coaches, for some reason, maybe their mindset is different, and they seem to feel like, okay, let me stay on this longer because this is a lifestyle change.
So
I was going to say, I agree with Denise. I do the same thing. I offer the discount opportunity just about everyone. And one, because I know my friends want to save money. And two, I think like she was leading to that it brings a whole nother layer of accountability in their own journey. And then with your relationship with that challenger or that discount coach, because they have more available to them, I think, and they think, because they're a part of something more than just their own journey at that point.
This is fascinating. So I'm really not trying to lead the conversation one way or the other, but do you guys ever just present the opportunity as a challenger and not even mention being a coach?
I do sometimes. So in conversation, my big goal, which maybe a lot of people can relate to, I'm looking for coaches to build my team. So in every conversation that I have with people, I'm offering them this opportunity as a challenger to start, but also that could open doors into coaching. So I'm always kind of giving them the opportunity to enroll as a coach right off the bat, because I want them to see that opportunity and I want them to get excited about the programs and want to pay it forward. So I do enroll coaches a lot more, I think. And I also, because I guess this is just a downfall of my organization, I am keeping track of coaches better than I'm keeping track of customers, unfortunately. And maybe it's in my downline, in my coach online office, it's easier for me to see like who we're working with, and these new coaches get put into the team page and they're active in there. Whereas challenge group challengers kind of fall off and I'm checking in with them a little less frequently, but I guess the point is I'm always looking. My goal is to find coaches, so I want them to have success with the product, and then in the next 2 weeks, halfway through their first month as a coach, they're diving into our coach training. So that's why I enroll coaches, I think, more than challengers.
Go ahead. Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah, that's okay. I always present as a challenger first and foremost and get them involved that way, and then eventually I'm trying to share the opportunity as much as I can because I think it has changed my life so much, and I'm trying to just make sure that people know that it's out there. I also think that it is beneficial, like Denise said about, receiving the discount. And I think especially if someone's like, I'm going to cancel because I just don't have it in my budget, I want to give them the opportunity. Plus, I think my team culture, so someone comes in as a challenger and sometimes they don't really know people, but they get to know people in a challenge group. But when you become a part of my team, I feel like there is a team culture where everyone just really gets to know each other, and I try to get everyone involved, and we have a certain closeness, and so I feel like those people do begin to feel like part of something a lot more than where they are as a challenger. So again, like other people mentioned, the accountability is increased, I think, as a coach, and you know, just have that feeling as part of more, being something part of more, and that once they're on the team page and realize what's available, you know, I do have people that want to branch out and coach and help others and realize that they can pay it forward. And if I always just treat them as a challenger, they're not aware of that opportunity. So.
Fair enough. Beth, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I kind of do it like half and half. Like certain people I will just sign up automatically for the discount. Certain people I'll just sign up for the challenger. And the reason is because I do try to get myself to 500 PV myself, you know, so obviously you have to sign people as challengers before you can sign them as discount coaches to get the PV for yourself. And I try to teach my coaches that too, because talking about elite, somebody mentioned elite points. If you're teaching your coaches to do the same thing, then they're not getting the 500 personal, you know, PSPV, because they're signing everybody as coaches under them, and they're not getting that PSPV themselves. So I try to do half and half. The other thing I do is if they are a challenger, then obviously I go back through halfway through, say you're liking the Shakeology. If you're going to continue, let's sign you up for the discount the next month. And then I will sign them like under my husband or somebody if they're going to be a discount, because I'm trying to build him for Diamond. And then he gets the, you know, the Success Club point if they get, you know, a challenge pack or something under his name the next month. So kind of try to work the system a little bit of Success Club points too, being honest. So, but.
Okay. Christina.
Beth, sorry if my kid starts crying. I have a question on how you're doing that, because I literally have probably signed maybe 4 challengers. I do all coaches. What I do is I have the whole conversation with them after they send me their email to present them with a link. I just shoot them like a message right after they're already committed that, hey, there's 2 options to sign up, blah, 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 and I explain it. How do you go about after they sign up as a challenger and you hadn't even mentioned the coaching option for the discount? Do you have them do the $40 then refund, or do you have them get a whole new challenge pack? I know like my upline pushes challenge packs and then coaching so that she doubles up in her things each month. I just feel like it's such a pain in the ass. Sorry, I'm a trucker mouth. It's such a pain to convert people or have them do the refund and all that it's like people just like forget it and they just peace out.
Yeah, it is. I agree that it is kind of a pain, because you're like, well, you have to pay the $40, but you get it back within 2 business days, which reminds me, there's somebody I didn't refund them money to. So like you forget, you know, if you're not like on your A game, and then you forget to do their refund. But yeah, or I just offer them another challenge pack of whatever's on sale, you know, the next month, and say, well, you know, if you want to try another program, you can get this program for $10. So I do kind of try to push the challenge pack. But I also tell them with the $40, like they still get the discount on Shakeology at that point. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you're paying the $99. You just have to pay $40 extra and get $40 back. So it's not like they're paying the $130 plus $40. They still get the discount when they sign, if they buy Shakeology during the sign up. So I just explain that to them. But I mean, like I said, it's not very often that I do that. You know, a lot of times they don't want to continue the Shakeology or whatever, and I do sign the majority of the people up for a discount at the beginning, but I do try to double dip, and I'm being honest with the Success Club points. I'll put them under my second business center, I'll put them under my husband, I'll put them under somebody else to sign them for the coach the next time around.
I have them they just pay the $40. I don't make it a big deal. I just tell them that they can you know, they can sign up as a coach. They'll initially pay the $40, and I would have it reimbursed for them right away, because as soon as I get their coach ID, I submit their form immediately. So I've really had no issues with it. People have always never given me trouble about that. So.
Okay, guys, this is great conversation, and you know, this is fairly fascinating to me, because you know, I don't want to disagree with anybody. I think everybody has their own things that work, and I just want you to think back on, and maybe this isn't you, but maybe this is people you know, this may be people in your downline, this could be your upline, but the majority of coaches I talk to, we talk about, how did you get started with Beachbody? Tell me your story. And all the first calls. And I just got off one. I got off at 29, and here I am right now. I am right on the hour. And I asked, I said, so tell me your journey. She said, well, I joined in 2011, just on Insanity. And people kept presenting the opportunity to me, coaching opportunity, and I thought it was a scam. So I kept saying, no. And that was in 2011. She goes, I didn't say yes until July of 2014 when I finally realized that this wasn't a scam, that people were making money doing the exact same things I was doing. And that's when I realized I can do the business. And now she's going to hit elite. She's on track to hit elite. She's kicking butt right now. But because she had a journey. She had her own transformation. She had her story that she could share with other people, rather than jumping in 2 feet first and saying, yeah, I'm ready to run the business. Those people exist. People who run right out of the gate do exist. I'm not saying they don't. But the majority of people who are successful and stay long-term with Beachbody start off doing a program, start off on their own transformation, and they don't even worry about the business in the very beginning. I know that goes against everything that we believe in here at Beachbody, because we're promoting elite, we're promoting SC, a success stars, and all these awesome things for people who start off right out of the gate. But if and I made a post about this on the Champions page later, and I've talked to a few of you about this. But guys, it's these people aren't ready, and if we push them too far too fast, they're going to feel like failures because they're not ready to start sharing the opportunity. They need to work on themselves first. And so I'm a big fan of signing people up, whatever, coach, challenger, doesn't matter, but with the intent of, look, don't you dare start working this business until you have your own story, because you're not ready. You're learning. This little girl I was talking to, she says she has a coach that's just 2 months, and she with the business, and she's like, she doesn't have an SC point. Like, how do I help her get an SC point? I'm like, are you freaking serious? She is 2 months old in this business, and you expect her to get SC points now? You should expect her to be pushing play and drinking Shakeology, and that is it. Work on yourself, work on your own transformation, and when the timing is right, I don't know what that's different for every single person. When the timing is right, you have got to do this. You gotta. Then they're ready to run the business. I'm out of time, guys. Please, this is awesome. There's a post I'm going to post from Ruth Schrauner. I want you guys to read it. Phenomenal post. Read it. Let's see. Hopefully, it changes your mind, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for jumping on, guys. See ya.